good now. Test 1, 2. Okay, we're good, whatever. I gave up on trying to make the other thing work. I have another audio device here. Hey, we got some battery. Get back over there. Thank you very much. Alright, so now we knocked over some tools. I had to pick them up. I think I'm going to clip you guys on my hat. I didn't do that before, but I'll do it this time. I have several clips on my hat. I'll just do it that way. I don't know if this... Uh-oh. Maybe it's... Alright, so let's kill that. What's that thing you do? That thing? Turn that off, clip it on the hat too. I have 4 clips on my head, and I'll just survive with that. 2. Hopefully it'll come off anytime soon. Scoot that up. Put that in right beside it. So now I'll have a bunch of stuff on my head, but I don't really care. Let me slide all the way over to that screen. I click that, click profile, close that one out. I can see my own live. I can pause my own live. I actually cleaned out a little bit of my bench as far as taking some stuff out. Got to do a puzzle just to get in my own live. Yeah, let's see how that goes. Where's the puzzle? There we go. Past that puzzle of flying colors. Alright, let's go over here. Let's pull this one up too, because we got it. YouTube land, Facebook land. Sorry, we're working on some bird stuff. We gotta get some stuff done. What's up, JR, man? I will try to call you JR now, and you ruined the fun. No longer calling you Junior no more. No, what's up, man? I hope you're doing well. So let's get back to work. Alright, so what I'm doing now is something odd, and it's just because I'm being a little OCD. I don't know if you Facebook, TikTok can see this very well or not. Let's see. I can bump the camera over just a smidge more. Let's play that again. Yeah, it should be good enough. Okay, that'll work for me. Where's the comments? I need to see comments. There we go. Okay. So I'm doing something interesting because I can, and I've got the tools to do so. Let's take a look at this. No, let's take a look at this. So I have an original Simpson movement, and something's happened to it that kind of bothered me. I don't know what happened specifically, but the movement itself had cracked. So yes, it was still an original bird movement. It still is an original bird movement, but it's just broke. So I decided to do a little bit of surgery. Whether or not that's the best decision or not, time will tell. I could have left it together as a operational meter with just a cracked back plate. Like the body of it was still fine. It was just literally the back plate. But I've got enough extra bird parts. I may be able to turn this into a nice and new, fresh bird meter. I took apart another bird that was working fine also. Just the movement itself. Just to see what all needs to be done. Okay. So, if you guys haven't noticed already, the problem is this. See all those cracks? That right there just breaks off. That right there is just broken in the middle. It's broken. Of course, it's an original, like I said, Simpson movement, but unfortunately, what's up, Steven? Waving a hand. We're working on some bird meters. So pulled meter is 160 for the movement. If you would have probably got that cracked up one for me, I could have probably give it to you for even cheaper. But I'm not sure if I could really stand selling you the cracked up one. To be quite honest, it would have probably driven me nuts. I'm just trying to offer that thing for sale. I've got another little graveyard, if I can find it. Yeah, there he is. This is a previous graveyard of a previous bird meter that I took apart. This one was actually damaged. And there is the Simpson movement, Simpson backplate right there. Da-da-da. I love being a pack rat sometimes. I mean, a functional pack rat. Let's just say it this way. Not like keeping junk. I mean, to some people, I guess a broken bird meter housing would be junk also. So, I don't know. I don't know what if see that Wisconsin little stamp on the top right there. All right, so let's get this thing put together. All right, that goes up there. We're doing that. And that one up there goes up there. Got those in those locations. All righty. So now that I've got this lined up on the back side, I've got to hold it in place while the small backing nut goes back on. So this part is moderately tedious, but not like crazy. It's not too bad. As long as you're familiar with the work, it's nothing that's out of the norm. Digital birds are $320 if you was to get it in a completed housing, like this one over here. Oh, might as well plug it in for you so you can see it. A completed housing like that one over there, they're $525. We're actually working on getting quite a few of these out. So far on the list right now, I have 5 digital birds getting shipped out. 2 digital bird 43s right here getting shipped out. Another digital movement getting shipped out. A dual digital bird set up in a custom housing. Another digital bird movement getting shipped out. Another digital bird meter movement getting shipped out. Another digital bird 43 getting shipped out. Another dual bird analog meter set up with a peak getting shipped out. And then I'm doing another 2 of those big panel mount birds, and those are getting shipped out also. Then I've also got to finish up on some high voltage wire, and then some RG218. So that's what we're working on right now, trying to get as much as we can accomplished. So several of just the movements I'm probably going to go ahead and ship out today, just simply because a movement can be shipped out pretty quickly, and I've got a bunch more on the way. So I wouldn't say a bunch, but a lot, just say. So I'll go ahead and get shipped out what I do have, and then the rest will go out later. All right, I was very happy to have saved that part in the back. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you, Mauricio. Thank you. Copy to throw it away, and you'll need it a day or two later. Yeah, I know, right? Look at this, my gigantic Toshiba transistor right there. Alright, so let's get this booger finished up real quick. I was looking at something, seeing if I could do something, but I can't. Alright. I don't have any panel mount bird orders, so I'm kind of, you guys are slacking over here. Nobody wants, hang on, where's it at? I don't have one to show you, but whatever. Nobody, I guess I got this one up here I can show you. So, nobody has an order out for any of these, one of these panel meters up here. And for the guys on TikTok land, what can you see? I can't tell. Yeah, that one up there. Not exactly that one, but still something like that. I have to stand up just to get you guys the right angle on. Over there's fine. And back down. My bench is a mess. I'm still in the rebuilding phase. I'm doing some other work, so not trying to win any real beauty contests right now, but it is what it is. We got work to do. Come on, buddy, you can find me. I'm down here. Thank you. All right, so next we need this right here. I didn't have to do it in the other order that I did it, but it's not super critical how I do it. The goal for me being make sure, there we go, good. It sits in a little retainer on the back side, so as long as I don't pop out of that retainer and knock it all over the place, it doesn't really matter how I put it back together. So we're doing some bird rebuilding right here. The only real reason, like I said, I'm rebuilding this movement is because it was driving me nuts. And I knew I had a parts one over there. It was a little bit of a risk because they've made a Weston movement, they've made a Simpson movement, and then they made a non-branded movement. Like the company that made it didn't claim it. This is a Simpson movement. This is a Simpson movement. This is one of the non-branded ones, but it's still original bird. This is a non-branded. Now, I think the non-branded is still like Simpson or something. I don't really know, to be honest. Again, non-branded. And this one is it's either the early Simpson or this is a Weston. The Weston movements a lot of times had a name that said Weston on the front, but this is definitely a different style movement. It's an older one. All right. I've got hey, hello, Mauricio. Waving a hand. Copy the bird's paradise. Yeah, I got quite a few bird pieces. Got the digital birds over here. I got a bunch of birds over there. A whole flock of birds. That's what everybody was saying in the comments before. So yeah, we're, like I said, finishing this up. You guys will see me put the face back on it real quick here in just a minute. Alright. This bird is reassembled. The movement is still working just fine. I haven't touched the face at all on the faceplate. So that's something I kind of try to take a little bit of care in doing. Inside here is dirty and nasty looking, so might as well take some time. I'm going to get some Windex. Give me just a second. It's in the other room. The cool thing about both of you guys now on both devices is you guys can come with me because I got it on an external microphone on both of them. Let me know on TikTok if I got really quiet or not. Or let me know if the audio stayed loud, or at least reasonable the whole time. TikTok guys, question for you guys. Did my audio go away when I went in the other room? Because I do have an external mic hooked up, but I'm not sure if it's engaged or active right now. I went back and checked before, and it said that it was not. It didn't say it was active. It just didn't pick it up on that swap meet video. All right, we're looking for some Windex. I could use something else if I had to, but I would prefer my Windex. I don't know where it's at. Let me see if it's over here. If it's over here, we'll use it. If it's not, then we'll grab something else. Because I got enough other cleaners I can deal with something. What is that, glass cleaner? Nope. PV blaster. And all that other stuff. Okay, I'm going to check out on TikTok for you guys' comments and see what you guys have to say. There's the 409. But where's the Windex? Alright, whatever. We are not successful in locating the Windex, so we are going to use handy dandy old-fashioned H2O water. We'll use some water. Alright, thanks for liking the live. Appreciate you. Hope you guys are enjoying the little bit that you are seeing of this video while I'm busy looking around for cleaners and stuff. Anybody has any comments about the audio on TikTok? Did it get quieter and get louder, or did it stay loud even when I walked in that other room? Please let me know. I would love to know if this microphone is working properly. So we're just cleaning up. I guess I need to keep it in the shot for you guys to be able to see. So just using a microfiber and a little bit of water to clean up on this. Less ammonia. Use Sparkle. Has less ammonia. Had good luck with it. Copy the Sparkle. The only reason I'm not using I would be using Windex would be just simply because it's literally sitting here in my shop. I'm not much of a cleaner dude, so if there is a better material, then take some other advice from other people. Do not take advice from me because I am not your man. It's going to tell you the best way to do everything. All right, so it came out really good. I'm very happy with that. So I need these go over there, these go right here. Would damage coatings over time. Good to know. Thanks. Appreciate that. That is going to be such a hard name to pronounce. Anna. I'm just going to say Anna. I'm not going to say nothing else. It's not like that's a name. It's just a username. But still. It's still difficult to pronounce. If you haven't figured out that I try to use a decent range of language and try to make sure I'm not using more simple terms and stuff like that. But there is definitely a limit to what I would do. Anna, Vanny, Ewan, Husey? I don't know. Sorry. Butchered that one. YouTube, you're good. Copy the YouTube, I'm good. Thank you. Message you and see what we can find first. Yeah, copy that. Timber, I apologize for not responding properly. How much for meter pulled? Yeah, cool. Yeah, message me anytime, man. That's no problem at all. I will try to do whatever I can to set you up. Alright, so yeah, we got a bunch of bird stuff to do. Quite a bit. I need to finish up some my other order first at some point. Not first, really. It's not before these, but it's pretty close. His order, I actually don't have it written down. think it was around the 7th or something like that. But I already told him it was going to be a minute with what he was trying to get done. Okay. There we go. Nice cleaned up bird. We have one analog meter ready and prepared. So now I have to deal with the aftermath of this. If you guys can see all this, I don't know if you can or not, but somebody decided to put some sort of like, I don't know what type of glue, wood glue, I'd say, like bubbled up yellowish all inside here. Instead of working on that, I'm probably just going to grab another housing. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't quite decided yet. This is a good housing here. And this is a good housing here. Anything else, and I'm just getting to be a little bit picky. But yeah, all this glue inside here, I tried to knock it off, and it looks significantly better, but it was beaded up yellow all the way around here, and it just looked awful. I need to figure out how to clean it up the rest of the way, or whether I should or not. But it shouldn't be a focus of today, I don't believe. I'll have to find something more abrasive to get into there, to that. I wish I could pull some off the ground or something just to show you guys what it was. I don't know. Yeah, there you go. There's a little bit of it. So let's see if it'll focus in. That junk right there. I don't think it'll focus on. See that junk? Yeah, that was what was in my meter housing somebody decided to use for the glue. It was fun. Alright. Acetone. Copy the acetone. I'm not sure what all acetone cleans. I do know that, like I said, my knowledge of cleaning materials is limited. So if acetone would clean something up without ripping stuff off, I know acetone does pull off paint. And this is, on this specific one, there's majority plastic. I don't see anything else that would be considered painted on here. So it would be plastic, plastic housing, a metal back plate. So this right here might be paint. I might have to be very careful with this, because if that comes off, that ruins the face of the movement. And there's paint on this needle right here. I know that much. Okay, let's get this put back together. Not get too cocky. And let's put it back together for now at least. Wait, this is gonna be fun. Alright, so I'm gonna have to line this up, screw this one in partially, and then get the other two lined up before I get it screwed in all the way. I'm not sure if this is going to work this way. So this one's partially screwed in. Now we will rotate around. Oh, that'll work. I can just set it inside this. Yeah, that works perfectly fine. I can do that. Thank you for the likes, guys. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you for sure. I did not suggest you use acetone. Don't use acetone on this. Yeah, somebody else said acetone, I thought. What were we talking about acetone for? I believe it's Gorilla Glue, timber. Yeah, I think so too. Thanks for finding your way over there on Twitch over there. Hello. It's been a hot minute since I talked to anybody on Twitch. Is it the same timber from YouTube or a different timber? Alright, so repair what? We're repairing some birds. Oh, okay, copy that. Yeah, my Twitch is like nothing. I set up a Twitch. I've got a Kick. I got a Trovo. But I did it just so I'd have the platforms for the future. I probably should babysit them a little bit more, but I really don't. I just don't. It is what it is. It's just I got a rumble too. I got a rumble. I've got a what else do I got? I got a Reddit. Copy the Gorilla Glue. Yeah, I would agree. It seems like some sort of Gorilla Glue. That's the first thing I thought it was, the type of wood glue. But yeah, I guess that's the only thing they had on hand at the time. But here's the look, what it looks like afterward, after I cleaned out all the glue from the edges. Overall, I mean, it's in pretty decent shape. I wouldn't say that's too awful looking, to be quite honest. It looked way uglier because it was like literally yellow around the edges before. Oh, excuse me, yellow around the edges before. So significantly better looking now. Yeah, I don't know what happened to this. It like literally it's just falling apart, disintegrating. Now, to be fair, Bird's been around since the 40s. So I don't know how old this one would be. And I don't know what kind of stresses this thing is put under, but it's just, that's it. She gone. Just breaking apart on its own. Just like that. Alright, time to throw that away. Moving on to the next step. So, we need to look at orders and figure out what needs to go and where it needs to go. So, also got a new toy I'll deal with in a little bit. You guys haven't seen it yet, but I will show you guys. Maybe TikTok did early because I had you guys at a weird camera angle and you're probably looking at it upside down. Alright, this one and this one will be fine. So this is for one order. So we've got dual bird, both, hang on, that's one digital, one analog. So I need another analog. That looks kind of ugly and gets on my nerves. Let's take a look and see what else I got. So we have a busted housing, unfortunately. That happens on occasion. We have another one that looks to be in good shape, but I'd have to pull this foam ring off. That one also looks to be in good shape. That's another Simpson movement. That is also a Simpson movement. And then another Simpson movement. This is a later model Simpson movement. These two are. So got these. Got a bunch of retention rings. Don't think I'm going to mess with these because I've pulled this off before and it's just annoying. It's just hard to clean. So I probably won't do that. Actually, he's got one digital, one analog. I actually will do that. Excuse me. Let's look at all three of these and see which one's the cleanest. I would say this one's cleaner. And this one's cleaner. Alright, so we'll use that one. So let's put the other ones away. I didn't really explain to you guys why I picked what I picked. But I will in just a moment. I just need to start putting these away real quick. Okay. These two will go for one. This will go with a digital for another. So now, let's check inventory for the rest. Digital Bird 43, one of those. I don't want to use that. Let's just say this one right here, whatever. Another Digital Bird 43 here for another order. That's fine. So that's two Digital Bird 43s handled. One order right here, another order right here. I need to move these over there so I'm not distracted. So 1, 1, 1. This and then this. Okay. Now what else do we have? We have another digital movement going to a different customer. That's fine. A dual digital bird. I think I'll wait on that one just because I've got to get some more parts in for that one. So I'll set that one aside for now. Dual digital bird. Another digital movement. Another digital movement. 1, 2, 1, 2, and I got a third digital 43 that needs to be done over here. And then I've got the 2 analog movement right here. I've got the 1 analog, 1 digital right here. Alright, so I've got 2 more orders to take care of and several more meters to get in stock. So meters are on the way. I think I got 20 more coming right now. And I have 1 right here, and I need 6 more. So literally 6 more meters to finish up the orders that are currently active. After those 6 more, I will have 14 meters left available. Number 10, waving in Mississippi, waving a hand, man. Hope you're doing well, man. Thermostat set phenolic. It's well known. It's old. That's the reason. Copy that. Hey, that's cool with me. These meter faces look a lot like the ones I custom designed to be printed for a custom audio meter panel with nested meters and good lights. It was a fun project. Copy that. Yeah, these, you talking about the digital ones or the old analog ones? That would be my question. All right, so, cool. So what I can physically ship today, I'll be able to ship this one. I'll be able to ship that one. So it handles 2 orders right there. This will handle the 3rd order right here. So 3 orders can ship. Another one needs to be completed. This is a custom housing. This is a custom housing. These can be shipped probably Thursday. I've got some plugs coming in. Got 1, 2, and then I think, yeah, 1, 2 that also need to be shipped. But I've got to get 2 more plugs for those. I don't have any more plugs in stock, so I'll have to grab some more. So I got 40 of those. I think 40 plugs coming in. So we'll have some fun with that. All right, this heater is doing too good of a job, so we will drop a layer real quick. All right, so now that is sorted, I've got all the birds ordered or set up that I need to get set up. I know what I need to have. I need 6 more, so I will ship out a few of these. I think I'll ship out 2 of these today, but the rest of them I'm just going to set aside to be installed / used / finished. So custom, those are going. A couple of these are going into custom housing. I think we should scoot these over. That'll work fine for me. And that one right there. Cool. I'm gonna work on something else real quick. You guys ready for this? This is gonna be a little different. We're changing up the whole process here. You know, I say I'm working on this, but I might have to run to the oh gosh, heavy as this. Might have to run to an enclosed real quick and grab some parts. This is your little bitty house coax that you need to hook up to run your TV antenna. That's what this stuff is right here. That's nothing to write home about. Just some little bitty stuff. It won't be used on nothing big. This will run their cable TV real quick. So set that up there for now. Let's see if that'll fall off in just a minute, but it'll be all right. Now here's the hope that I was not super diligent. That's the hope. If I wasn't super diligent, then I'm going to be a happy camper, because we had a swap meet here this past weekend, and I took a lot of my connectors and a lot of my equipment. There's one of the triple housings right there. I don't know where the back for that thing is. Oh, that's the triple. Set it over here for now. I'll set it up high. I'll put that together later. That way. So that's RG218. That's what this coax is going to be. You can see it right here, but I'll show you it versus inch and 5/8 right there. There's RG218 in comparison. There's some 7/8 hardline in comparison. Some 1/2 inch hardline in comparison to run as a. I'm kind of going to put them in size order. Might as well just because I am. 1/2 inch flex right there. RG393 right there. That is 1/2 inch Teflon right there. And I thought I had some LMR 600 or something else, but I don't. So we are currently in the process of finding where my connector may be. If I can find that, I'll put this together. If I can't, then it'll be later on. I don't know. Let's just do it. I got to get it done anyway. So you guys will just have me cut out for just a second. It is what it is. I'm going to run to a container and grab some connectors. So don't get mad at me if the audio cuts out. I'll be right back. We got to get some parts. I don't know if I am. But who knows? There may be just enough interference to prevent the connection. So we are back in business. So I don't know how much of that audio you guys heard, but we're back to working. So we got the connectors that we need. C'est la vie. That's just part of it. Copy that. Yeah, it's not my, that's my, one of my bigger coaxials, but that's just coaxial cable. Not trying to beat everything. I got some 777 KCML in the other room, but that's DC wire, not coaxial wire. All right. Let's move this under here and try to work on it. See if we can get this done. I need to grab a female connector, something like this, and do what I needed to do. So, let's turn this over here just a smidge. I think I can turn that over here just a smidge. Whoop, too far. See my little heater working. Please put me back another one of those digital birds. Yeah, copy that. Appreciate you, no problem. I should have my other shipment in very soon. I will make contact and make sure when I can have that. But yeah, just message me and let me know when you want to get one. I've got a bunch of them in stock. I think I got 14 extras right now. Maybe I'm not 100% sure about that. They keep flying out. So I've got oh gosh, out of 21, out of 27, 28, out of 28, I think I have 14 left. So I got 14 of them gone. So they're going out the door pretty fast. And that's after me ordering multiple times. Not too many collinear cables. Not too much. I think I might have had one or two in the past, but I don't think I have any now. I'm pretty confident I don't. So let's look at this design. This is exactly what we need for that. I mean, that'll be alright. Let's look at my box real quick and see what else I got, though. Just because I've got it doesn't mean I have to use that specific one. I like it, but these are brand spanking new. But let's see what else I got real quick. Just because I want to see if there's a difference between them. Here's some more new ones. 154. 154. Should lock into place. That's fine. I feel like there's an O-ring that I'd like to put in here. Not like it matters, but I just feel like there's one that would suit this location pretty well. Or maybe I jam the shield up in here, the jacket up in here, and then lock the jacket into place. That would be odd. Maybe that's how it works. Yeah, collinear is interesting. Waving a hand, 713. Hope you're doing well, man. Yeah, don't you love the freaking bots there, Timber? Yeah, it's annoying. Alright. That's the one thing I don't like about Twitch. It's got a few little trolls in there. Not really trolls, but just like fake things. It's like, oh yeah, if you want it, that's what that is. If you want to get fake viewers, go to this particular website to get fake viewers. Yeah, I would rather just not have viewers. I mean, I don't want to pay for people that's not there. Like, who cares? Like, I'm not like one of these big prideful people that's just like, oh yeah, look at how many followers and how many. Yeah, no, I don't need millions of views that I had to pay money for. There's some people doing that, you know. It's kind of crazy. It's probably the wildest thing I've ever seen, but it's kind of a thing, really, when it comes to like the influencer community, I guess. They have to pay for viewers, and then they pay for comments, and they pay for I forgot what else they have to pay for. I don't know, but they pay for all that junk. Like, some people, of course, are organic and they're naturally just the way they are, but then others are just like paying money just to try to get other people to look at them. And that's kind of a sad existence, to be quite honest with you. Alright, so we need to measure all the way to the inside of this body. And we want to make this connection right here. So we're going to measure with our little... I wish I could find my other caliper. It doesn't matter. I don't have to be super precise with it. I just need to get an eyeball of it. Something like that tip. So that would make it to the beginning of these threads, right? And if I go all the way to the end of this, set that on my knuckle, which I can't quite do, that would go to the beginning of these threads. Okay, center conductor goes all the way in, all the way beyond this connection right here. So this right here will end as it tightens up. So the end of the body of this insulator ends way up here, all the way past these little spring rings right here, and then the center conductor goes beyond that. So let's run it out. Let's get it done. So we want to make it at least this long, plus this entire back section. So how long do we want to run that? So we want to run all the way to the end of this for the most part. Sorry, it's been a hot minute since I worked on any sort of 218. So, working a lot of Helix. But 218, it's been a minute. Since I mess with it, that is. Can you guys see pretty well? Alright, so YouTube just never fails. I don't know what it is about YouTube, but you guys are night owls, I guess. Now, Facebook and TikTok, it's just kind of hit and miss. Just depends on whose day it is. Like, hey, I got a long day tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. But YouTube, just like, yeah, I can't sleep. I'm getting on YouTube. So it's like... You guys are cool. I appreciate all you guys. Whatever platform you watch me on, whatever platform you follow me on, I thank you all. You guys are cool. Alright, that's good right there. So now, we're going to go ahead and run the shield back. There probably is no need to keep the shield this long, but since I am just testing this out and seeing how this works, let's do this. Now, I don't know how there ain't no way that's going to stretch or do anything like that. Luckily for me, this is an interior connection. I'd like to look into the factory sealing method for this. That would be pretty neat to know. Da-da-da-da, there's the center conductor all the way up there. So that's cool. So we've cut back as far as we need to be able to get the dielectric and the shield in, right? That's cool, all fine and dandy. But we have not cut far back enough to actually make contact with the center pin. So we got to figure out what full length on the center pin is, which is pretty dang close to the end of my finger. And we're going to cut that in half. So something like that. Right there. Be fine. Cut this much extra there. And we'll also cut this much extra on the jacket. Cool. So the way I'm going to get away with the jacket, rather than focus on trying to slide it back off the end of the wire, what I'm going to do is just go ahead and split it. Cut it right here. Why am I playing that video? It's killing my... It might mess up my stream. Just about 7 a.m. there. What are you, 5 hours ahead? What are the... Is you in the UK? No, 7 a.m. there. Just, yeah. You would be ahead. Anything else would be behind. It has to be the UK. Or somewhere in Europe. But it seems odd. I don't know how... I'm trying to think about my time zones here. We'd be going back if we went the other way. Yeah, it's got to be UK or somewhere. London. Copy that. Yeah, we're +5 over here. So, eastern seaboard of the USA. Okay. Sorry, this is sometimes boring, sometimes interesting. Some people love this stuff, some people don't care for it. Personally, I don't really have a preference one way or the other. I've got to do the work, so it's fine with me. So now, I've got to push this back up and slide my little retention ring back up here. O-ring first. Look, if I want to get super particular with this, if I wanted to make sure that, I don't know if this will work or not, we'll see. If I wanted to make sure this wire doesn't have no troubles, what I could do is this right here. I don't know if I can get away with it or not. We'll see. There we go. And then that little bundle got me. All right, sharp edge out. Sharp edge out. And you on the sharp edge. Doing good, can't complain. I'm in Belgium, Brussels time zone. That's 1 hour ahead of London. Oh, okay. Good to know. Yeah, I've got quite a few inquiries that I've had on some of my work coming from the Netherlands. So, it's pretty interesting. Copy the 1 hour ahead of London. Oh yeah, I was. It's late. I'm not thinking. I appreciate the trying to walk me through the time zones here. I told you we're +5. You said London's +1. I should have known there was only a 4-hour difference, and you said it was 7 a.m. So it's 5-hour difference. So of course you'd be the one time zone in front of that. But also, as unfortunate as I would say, I am not running on all cylinders at the moment. We are trying to get this job finished up and ready. This is just one of the orders. I got some 218 to do. I've got the other order I've got to do is going to be some smaller items. I don't know if I can get away with this. Let's just do this. Where'd I put my tape? Put it right there. Uh-oh, I'm using my good tape. I didn't look and see what I was doing. I'm being a little bit more particular with how tight I pull the tape right now. And also, I'm going to be a bit more particular with how far up the top I run. Now, see if I can get away with it now. Where did I put them all? Up underneath here. Some of my material I use quite a bit. Our heater system is working too well, I have noticed here just recently. Wondering why I'm getting kind of sweaty. Alright, let's turn this booger off. Hang on a second. Alright. Hope everybody enjoyed the swap meet. The swap meet was fun. I enjoyed it for sure. Hope you guys who didn't get to make it liked the videos. I still got more to post, I'm sure. This is what's called being a dunce is. Alright. There's no need for me to have this, because what I'm doing next is literally this. What in the world am I thinking? So. Need to put the cap on or something. So. We got the reducer on the back. And it runs this up the edge. There's a flange or a flat edge on the inside of this. I feel like it should still go up inside there. We're not going to wrap it around. We've got enough play. We're going to wrap it. Sorry, I was just looking at something real quick. Hey, what's up? Hope you're doing well, man. Long time no talk, Mr. Number One Son. Hope you're doing well, man. Unfortunately, I'm working on what we talked about the other day. That 218 that you was talking about wanting. Sorry. Alright, what do we got good? Alright, I've got plenty of body over there. Okay, let's just forget this, because I'm plenty enough. I got enough here to work with. So I'm getting a little impatient. Not that I really have to be impatient right now, but I'm hot and I don't feel like dealing with it right now. So oh, my live on TikTok just died. Yay. So we'll leave that over there for now. Let's restart my broken live.
Managing PCOS is...
Forget you. Let's plug this in. We need a little bit of airflow down here. You, buddy, I need you. Can't be getting super hot in the middle of daggone winter. We're not playing that game. That's just too much. So let's go back over here and pull TikTok back up. We're back live. Pause the video, get my big head out the way. Sometimes it actually works out well for the live to get kicked off because it just, stuff happens. So this is not going to work right here. We know that much, right? That's perfectly fine. I'm good with that. Sorry. Hope you guys are doing well. We're working on some RG218 right now. Accidentally killed our live because I didn't pass a puzzle after an hour. So that's always fun. If you guys didn't know, when you're live, if you don't pass the puzzle and you don't look at your phone while you're doing your lives, TikTok will ask you to complete a puzzle about 1 hour into your live. And if you don't complete said puzzle, they kick you out of your own live. So needless to say, that's what happened to poor pitiful old me. I kicked out of my own live. Had to start it all over again. So if you guys decide to feel sorry for me, that'd be nice. Alright, center conductor. All the way up. Look at the body of this. That's fine. Pretty happy with how that's going to set up, but I'm not happy with how far my center conductor is. I need to go further. So, luckily, I've got just the tool to do the job with. That's going to be one of these. So, let's measure with this. Get enough in there as far as possible. I normally have my caliper, but I messed around at the swap meet, and right before the swap meet, I found it, actually. Yeah. What the heck am I doing? I was saying I lost my diagram caliper, but it's right here. I remember finding the thing. Now, that's a lot better. So, what's up, Crispin Cardinal? Waving a hand, hope you're doing well. Alright, so, back to what I'm doing. I'm very happy now that I got my caliper back. That's pretty cool. Happy camper there. Very annoying when you don't have the right tools for the job. I could do it by hand if I needed to, but that's definitely a lot easier. So, alrighty. If you guys got questions while I'm working, feel free to ask. It don't hurt my feelings at all. We're just going to keep working on this wire. This is just your grandparents' TV cable. This is the same stuff they used to hook up their TV. You were just a lot smaller back then, so it looked like it was smaller than this. Alright. So, rotate this around. I was trying to cheat a little bit just because I'm lazy, but don't look like I'm gonna be able to. So need to go back up and peel a braid. So peeling the braid's not too bad. I work with double braided wire all the time, so not too bad to deal with this single braid right here. Mac, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you, man. We're working on some, like I said, some little bitty coax right here. You guys can see how it's getting done. I'll zoom in over here for Facebook land and everybody else. Coax is a pain sometimes. Yeah, this stuff is not the easiest to work with. Okay. Now I'm probably going to cut a bunch of this off. Actually, I know I am. It's not a question of if. It's a guarantee. So I'm just lining all this up. See how it's going to go on here. Push this up. This back reducer right here. Not entirely sure what the purpose of that one is. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Da-da-da-da. Got room for the center conductor. I can cut that bugger back. This right here is just flatten it out against this piece right here. I need to be able to thread this connection up in here. So, because of this being an O-ring, that pretty much guarantees and tells me that the shield does not need to extend beyond the O-ring, because the O-ring's trying to do a job, which is seal a connection. So, my job from here is going to go ahead and make some marks on the end of this coax right here, and go ahead and cut my shield back. That's what we're going to work on now. So, just going to be a bunch of copper falling down. This is, like I said, RG218. It's not the biggest coax I carry. I carry coax this big around right here. This is actually its little brother, but we are currently working on it. Like I said, this is the same coax that you hooked up on your television at your house back when you was a kid. You just didn't remember how big it was, is all it is. For the guys that don't know, I'm joking. RG218 is commonly used in the military, so it is a mil-spec cable. They use the LC connectors on a lot of military connections. If you guys have looked and seen this connector before, that's what an LC connector looks like. Alright, let's get this thing chopped around. Thank you guys for liking the live. If you guys are enjoying what you're seeing, tap the screen. It is appreciated for sure. We're going to go around this shield real quick. Continue to cut this back. All the way around through the back side of this. Alright, got a couple strands we got to clear out. Back over here. Like I said, if you guys don't mind, tap the screen. It is appreciated on TikTok especially, because if you guys don't tap it, then TikTok does not know to share my video to more people. So, pretty good right there. I'm liking that pretty well. I might have to cut it back just a little bit more. We'll see. I know, right? Go back to LMR 400. Life is easy. All right. Cut around a little bit more. We got to tidy up this. I'm gonna have to clear out copper shaving, these copper pieces from down below me later. I'll deal with that. So we're building our flange right here to tighten this coax up. Like I said, if you guys have seen LC connectors in the military, that is what connector that I'm building for this right here. So let's do a plunge test real quick. Run this down. Let's go to millimeters. Where's my millimeters at? Thank you, buddy. 29, so we'll go down to 15 mil. Put a mark right there on the exterior. Looks like cable hardline. It's very similar to cable hardline. This is cable hardline right here. This is 7/8. This is inch and 5/8. This is 7/8 right here. And this is RG218. It's actually more of a flexible coaxial cable rather than a hardline style cable. If you guys are not familiar with the connectors, I've got some inch and 5/8 connectors over here sitting around here somewhere, but I'm not quite sure where. I'll show you guys later. It don't matter. Here's your regular 7/16 DIN connector, which is already a big connector. And there's your regular PL. Whoops. Let me pull one closer. There you go. There's your regular PL259. That's an RG400 cable for comparison, commonly used in aeronautics and aerospace. Digital meters are 320 if you want of just the meter housings right here. I can light one of them. I got one of them plugged in over here somewhere. Yeah, this one right here. So I can light one up just like this. Right here. That is just the movement itself. It's 320 for just the movement, 525 for the movement and the housing. get this thing cut through the center conductor, or through the dielectric at least. Oh goodness, this is a bit tough to get through, just to be quite honest with you. Oh, gosh, what a pain. Okay. All right. Next, clean up some material right there so you don't have to see that. Center conductor needs to get straightened up just a smidge. Yeah, that's pretty good there. All the way around, we're good. Let's go past it a little bit right there. Now, it slid past that connection. Now is the job. Might have to cut this back some more in just a second. We'll see, actually. Actually, I know I'm going to have to. So let's line this up where it's going to be set up all the way on the end. There we go. I'll deal with that in a minute. I made a mark so I can go back to where my cut is. When you're on your first end, it's not critical, because you can always pull more material. It's not the end of the world. So I'm going to cut this center conductor when we're done. Da-da-da-da. Ha! Best case scenario right there. Only complaint I have is this wire is kind of hard to get in the right position. All right, lock this into place, lock this into place, and get this thing tightened up. See how much this is not going to be wide enough. Oh, it is. Isn't that something? This is RG218 is what this cable is specifically. This one right here is specifically AVA 7-50. It's 1 5/8 hardline. It's very similar to waveguide, but waveguide is an elliptical coax, where your 1 5/8 is a just a normal circle. Alright, so now from here we need to cut center conductor back. We don't want to go too far with it. We'll chop. See if this will chop it real quick. Let's take a look. See how this lines up. So we need to deburr real quick. So that's what we're going to do. The way I deburr, I generally won't take that big of a bite, but let's grab the end of the coax and just knock some of the tip off. The benefit of that is it takes the sharp edge off the end of the coax. And does us a little deburr. All right, all the way around. Still a couple spots. Just feel for any sharp edges, and you want to clear those out. Now, let's use our eyeballs to line up a center conductor. Just trying to make sure everything threads in very well and does a good job, but try not to be too aggressive with it. You guys are all up in my ears. This cable is a coaxial cable for a customer. They're using it for a low attenuation cable. It could be used for a lot of stuff, but specifically this customer is using it for that. Oh, okay. It's going to be a little bit of annoyance. So I'm going to change up my plan real quick. I've got an elbow over here somewhere. Just going to find it. This will work right here. I got to get the connector to fit their hookup. No, this is not an N type. This is I think it's HN or whatever. But looks very similar to the N type. Okay, this is enough to be annoying. So the goal is to get this straight. It's only negative with whenever they make a center conductor based cable. You have to make sure it's dead on and straight. And if it's not, what ends up happening is it becomes a pain in the neck. So I'm going to cheat. I actually know exactly what I'm about to do. See what I just did right there? So now, this is a massive cheat right here. There we go. Now, I'm gonna keep this. I'm not gonna sell this barrel connector. This will be my guide to getting my 218 tightened up. I wish I had a good angle. Let's just try this. This might bite me in the butt, and I'm going to complain in a minute if it does. But can't complain for stuff you don't try. I need something mounted. Success. Bit of a pain, but success. Yeah, I've got a vise sitting right over here. But it's kind of weird to set it up on test equipment bench because of the way I got it set up. I just throw it in the floor whenever I don't need it. But yeah, a vise would have came in handy right there. But I also had to reline up that center conductor and kind of manhandle it in place. Da 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 da. So I could adapt this down to an HN connector. I could adapt it down to like your regular bird 43 line section or something like that with proper adapters. So I've got a bird line section right there. That one's a little bit fancier than the ones you guys are normally used to seeing. But I can go over here and grab me a tool. And then have a bird right here. Screws right into the bird line section right there. Or I could screw right into the side of one of these if I really wanted to. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, that is an LC connector right there. This is an LC connector right here. Hey, thanks for the share, Terry. Thank you. Appreciate that. That's a bunch of shares. Alright. Yeah, 3-day events. That'd be cool. Pretty cool for sure. Half inch says you sell. Yeah, I sell Andrew. Yes, I sell Andrew coax for my half inch. Alright, cool. This type of coax right here, it can be used for a lot of stuff. It was a big time military coax for a long time. RG218. But it's just a low loss coax while also being flexible and easy to move around. Ta-da! Got it lined up, nice and straight. Everything's working. I don't know if it'll work straight into this. We'll see. I'm kind of curious. Not exactly. I'd have to mount that inside there and then force it in. But yeah. I wonder if I could. I'm gonna do a bigger chamfer on this because I need this to fit in all applications, and that right now I'm testing it. It doesn't perfectly fit in every application. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of work. Last thing I want to do is send a customer a product that doesn't do as advertised. So we're going to grab a little bit of this microfiber cloth because it works out pretty well for what I'm about to be doing. That ain't going to hold. It'll come off the bench here in just a few seconds, but I'll try to keep it up there for a minute. Where's my scissors? I'll use these. That'll work. You got some? Yeah, it could be. It could be used for a lot of stuff. Yeah, it could be used for CB. It could be used for ham radio. It could be used for broadcast. It could be used for field use. There's a bunch of stuff it could be used for. It's mainly just a low attenuation wire that's capable of doing a lot of stuff in the HF spectrum. It can go up higher than that for sure. It's used up in, what is those? I'm trying to remember what those transmitters are, what frequency they're on. I don't know what frequency they were. It might be up to about 100, 120 meg or so. You don't see them up. You don't see this coax using the gigahertz spectrum too much, but from 0 to 100 meg, it'll be used pretty often. Alright, should do what I needed to do. Alright. Now, make sure it fits that one. Fits that one just fine. Now make sure it fits this one. I need to poke it back in there all the way. Oh, can't say for 100% sure that worked. Gotta find this wild. Let me just pull this out. Cool thing about Teflon sometimes is you can cheat, which I just did again. Why? I think this is an aftermarket LC connector, because this is a brand new. It works. It's just seems to be a little bit tighter than it should be. So that would be a little bit of a pain for the customer to plug into, in my opinion. Maybe not as much anymore. I don't know. We'll see in a moment. But I know for a fact it'll plug in. I just need to... They would just have to plug it in there. Have I ever worked on any jamming equipment? I will not admit to it. No, I haven't. I can. I just don't. It's just not something I get into. All right, this will work. It's just gonna have to. They'll have to deal with each individual connector because this is all original the way it's set up. It's chamfered on the end. There's nothing I can do to make this connector easier to connect to, besides just not cutting it down even smaller. What is the power limit on something that big? So power limit on something like this in the HF spectrum is somewhere in the neighborhood of about 12 to 15,000 average or so is what it's capable of in the HF spectrum. The further you go down, the more it can handle. All right, that is locked into place and doing what it needs to do, holding on just fine. All right. So now I got to do the other end, but I'll have to cut quite a bit of length off to be able to do that. So I am going to set this one aside. The next thing we're going to work on is actually kind of going to jump around a little bit. First things first, I need to grab a box. Let's do that first before I get too far ahead of myself. I need just any box that's empty because I need to dump all. I need to start me a new box. This right here will work. Not very well because it's already broken. Let's grab one more box. I've got like a bunch of boxes over here, so there's not really a worry about finding one. This'll work. This'll work. So I'm just gonna grab up I'd like to say that I was prepared, but I'm pretty sure I just packed away what I'm about to be looking for. So let's take a look down here. So I've got a big high voltage section where I put all my high voltage wire and stuff. There it is. Alrighty. That's what we needed right there. So this is some high voltage wires, 25 kV is what it's rated at. You guys are all up on my ear right now, and that's hurting. So let me move you guys over. So scoot that over, get off my ear. Ow, poor ear. So, if you guys have not seen one before, this is a high voltage connector. Hey, thank you, Puff Man. Appreciate the follow. So this, thank you, Straight Jacket. Appreciate the follow on that too, for sure. So this is good for about 15,000 volts under test, but 10,000 under run operation, up to 30 amps of a connection. So 15,000 volts at 30 amps is a lot of power. So that's how this is set up, and that's how it runs. This is the mating cycle of it and how it sets up like that. So I've got some high voltage wire right here. This wire is good for 25,000 volts. So it's for a size above, but it works out pretty good for what we're going to be doing here. So I've got to if you guys have never dealt with high voltage wire, it's just a wire with a very high dielectric strength. So the goal is basically when you're using this wire, for it not to kill you when you're trying to use it. It just keeps you from dying, because if you touch high voltage, then sorry, that's the end for you. There ain't no more you. You're gone. When you get up above a certain threshold, there's no real saving it. It's just, you're dead. There's a few different situations where you'd be okay, but those situations are very few and far in between. So you have to respect high voltage. It's not something you play around with, but that's why I specifically do these connectors, because they're significantly safer than your other option. I don't know if I can get it out over here. Let's move this tube out of our way. Oh, goodness. This over here is what's called a melon connector. This connector I hate with a passion. I just despise it. This is 40,000 volt high voltage wire. Yeah, you're protected. You're not going to touch it. You're not going to short it out or anything like that. This is the end of the melon connector. You can try to force it up in there, but this wire, the jack, it migrates. It moves back. So all you got to do is pull on it a little bit, and there you go. You've got 3 millimeters between you and death, and in this case, you got 0 millimeters between you and death. So, milling connectors are bad. I don't care who says they're good, they're bad. I don't care what anybody else says on that one. So, back on the high voltage, let's get to work. So we gotta cut the center conductor back, and we will get to work on this one. Something like this will work just fine. Again, thank you guys on YouTube for hanging out. You guys are awesome. TikTok is off and on. They've always been off and on. But YouTube is very, very consistent. You guys are cool. Alright, so if I was a smart person, sometimes I am not, especially late at night. I should have measured this before, just to see. Whoops, hang on. 5.14 mils. Let's measure this down to the end. There we go. It is fine. So this is long enough, it'll hit the bottom. So what I've got to do here is I've got to go ahead and restart my iron, kill it, turn it back on. Let's add some water to our sponge real quick so I can make sure this thing's nice and clean. Alrighty then, here we go. I've got some more solder somewhere, but I'll have to go dig it out later. We're going to use this one. So all I'm doing is holding enough heat to get this thing to wick into this connection. Alright, perfect. Best case scenario. So now from here, what I've got to do is I've got to find where I put that nice little handy dandy packet. This Coaxial. So since I'm doing this, it's kind of hard to get it up in here. I'm going to go ahead and chop and kind of chamfer the end of this jacket real quick. If you guys got questions while I'm doing this high voltage stuff, feel free to ask. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all. We'll talk about high voltage, connectors, and things like that. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Worked out really well. So, the way this is set up, slightly more annoying. Not too bad, though. You just got to hold the body, and hopefully that doesn't move while you're using the smaller one right here and lock it into place. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. Thanks for checking out the video. Like I said, if you guys are getting the hankering and enjoying the video, feel free to like the video. And if you enjoy it enough, feel free to subscribe and check out some more videos. If you just like it, then hopefully it'll suggest you some more content and you guys will see some more of my stuff. I'm live usually on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. So you will catch me around on those days. Sometimes you'll catch me on a Wednesday or a weekend, but not very often. It's just not something that I normally do. Unless we're going to a swap meet, which you guys did get to see here recently, which was pretty fun. That was enjoyable. Locked into place. High voltage wire. We got everything we need. So now, what I've got to do is I've got to get some more high voltage wire here and on the way. And I'm going to take the other end and put some more high voltage wire inside the case. So this customer will now have high voltage wire to set up his stuff. So very, very happy with how it mates. So picture this being inside of a cabinet. Now you have a good plug that's got a lot of protection to protect you from you and dying. The milling connector does not. I wish I had the female end so I could show you the female end. It's worse than the male. But back to the milling. Looks like this. Has a couple threads to barely thread it into place. And then literally the wire is exposed on the back side. When you have 8,000 volts, which can kill you if you touch it, sitting there exposed, it's probably not the best idea. So it's a nice setup with this stuff being rated at 15 kV. It's rated at 15 kV. It's tested at, rated at 10 kV and tested at 15 kV. Excuse me, I don't want to claim too much. It's a 10,000 volt rated connector. Copy back on YouTube. Yeah, I don't know how cool Twitch is. I don't know if it's Twitch just sucks or if it's okay. But I haven't played around on it, to be honest. I guess I did one time. I made a Twitch for like a game Twitch or something back in the day. But didn't get into like seeing a lot of other people on Twitch. I'm hooking the split ring back up real quick. Give me just a second. There we go. Split ring's locked into place. That connector's not coming back out. We're good to go. High voltage is in place. All right. Super, super happy with that. So if anybody wants these high voltage connectors, if you do a lot of high voltage work, then I will absolutely work out a wholesale option for you. Because I am so sick of milling connectors. I tried to do it a couple years back. Nobody really jumped on it, so I will offer it again as we go. All right, so lots more to do. More high voltage connectors. I got to do more with that RG218. I've got to ship out several of these birds. But we are going to go ahead and call it an evening because I've got to do 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 4 shipments tonight. So we're going to go ahead and handle that and get all that business out the way. Because I want to, instead of seeing a bunch of active orders, I want to go ahead and see several completed orders. Even though all these are not completed yet. I've got a bunch of completed connectors, a bunch of completed wire. Everything's completed on that gentleman's stuff, except for some other accessories he just ordered. So, yeah, that'll make that fun. It'll be a nice setup for him. I'll catch you guys later. You guys have an excellent evening. I actually found my other bird housing I was looking for. But I've got another bird housing too. We'll be playing with those later on. But I'm calling it evening. So see you guys later on the TikTok land. Thank you for the likes. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for following. And I appreciate y'all over there. I'll catch you guys later. See ya. On YouTube land and Facebook land. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for checking out the video. And I do hope you guys really have a great day. I will be back on Thursday to show you guys some more. I'll get to show you guys. I don't know if this screen is actually interesting to anybody else but me, but I like it. Man, it's froze too. I can't use it. That sucks. Whatever. Oh, I can actually click it right here. Let me go down here. Where is my computer mouse? There we go. Look, I can click this, and then I can click, bam. All right. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. Thanks for checking it out. What coax would I recommend for a 100-foot run on a CB base station? I know there are calculators out there, but your opinion would be greatly appreciated. It depends on what you're doing. I'll pop back on the screen for just a second. So, let's say you were doing something for a 100-foot run. Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate you, Cracker. Probably catch you later. 73 there. Frog too, man. So half-inch hard line, half-inch flex, maybe some 213 or something like that. Just depends on what you're looking for. If you want to send me a message, Todd, I will try to give you some more suggestions. It just really depends on your specific application. See y'all. Y'all have a good evening.